Let me start with this. The subject I'm going to talk about today is not discussed a lot in detail on the internet or in a public setting, and may offend some people, but it needs to be talked about more. So let me set the table for you. There's a podcast out there called Fresh and Fit, and there's other podcasts and shows that are very similar in the red pill community and in the blue pill community and the whatever pill community. But I'm going to specifically hone in on Fresh and Fit real quick because they use a lot of hyperbole, if I'm saying that right, to make a point, to give gotcha moments to different guests, whether they're male, whether they're female. And what they discuss is very surface level information and doesn't dive deep into the actual subject of men and how we think. And I'm not talking about the simps or the folks that will pay $50, $100 donations to these guys because gotcha bitch type of thing. But there are some points that they make that are really solid, but they don't go into detail because the details are boring. I'm telling you, real good men are boring. We are. Plain and simple. We're not exciting, and we're going to bottle things down until we can't anymore. That's just a fact of life. Okay? A real man's world is turned upside down multiple times a week. If not, there are times where it's turned upside down multiple times a day, multiple times an hour. Now, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but if you are a real man who takes care of your family, who goes out and busts his ass at his work, that always tries to figure out how to manage and make things work for his family, for his spouse, for his significant other, for his kids, for the people around him. If you're that man, you understand what I'm talking about. But most people, the majority of people, don't understand that. And the reason why is because society has taught men and women that the role of a real good man is no longer useful. Now it's about feelings. Now it's about emotions. Now it's about how you make someone feel in the moment. It's no longer about how somebody has been consistent. It's not about how somebody has always been there. It's not, and this is friends, this is girlfriends, boyfriends, spouses, etc., family members. It's no longer about being human. It's now about how many people can give me the emotional experience that I need to fulfill whatever hole is in my heart, hole is in my gut, however you want to phrase that. Real men don't care about a woman's body count. In fact, this is one subject that these guys get wrong, is real men don't care. Okay? In my history, I've dated women with huge body counts. I've dated women with no body counts. And in general, the relationships have all ended the same. It's just a fact of life. The body count of a woman is, or even a man, has nothing to do with who you are as a person. A person leaving you for someone else is not always a reflection just on you. Real men understand that. That's why real men will walk away. There's a saying in the movie Heat with Robert De Niro. Like, he's willing to drop things within 30 seconds and walk away. Real men are like that. It doesn't mean they'll walk away from their responsibilities, but they'll walk away from a bad, how do I put that? A bad situation that's going to drag them down where they can't take care of their responsibilities. Okay? Give me an example. I have a friend of mine that has been dating a young lady for a while. Okay? And he's done everything in his power to help her because she's been going through a rough time. And for whatever reason, this young lady, he was telling me last night, this young lady has changed the way she behaves and the way she treats him. For first like 6 months, 7 months, they've been going out. Everything's been great. I mean, you have your rocky or bumpy moments, everything else. But it's like there was this moment in time where this young lady stopped responding to his text messages, stopped taking his phone calls, and the only time she would contact him is if she needed something. Food, an Uber ride, you know, I mean, I'm going to make a joke, but diapers, whatever. There was no longer, good morning, how are you? I hope you have a nice day. There was no more, how are your kids? There was no more communication like that. The communication had ceased. And he came up to me and he asked me, well, he talked to me over the phone. He came to me and asked me, what would I do? And I said, I just drop her. And he goes, but I'm getting older. I'm 50 years old. There's only a certain amount of time before I'm no longer going to be able to find someone. And I explained to him, I said, you know, I'm 40. I'm 40 years old. The mother of my children and I have gotten to a place in our life where we're just friends. We've gotten to a point in our lives where the marriage didn't work out. And I didn't realize till about 18 months ago, and it slowly built up inside me, that the best thing I could possibly do is not walk away from my responsibilities of my kid's mother or my kids, but to walk away and let the relationship die. Because it was just nothing but negativity. It had grown to a point where there was resentment on both sides. And as a real man, we have to understand that there's going to be a time and place where you got to drop what you're doing and stop fighting for a relationship that is not a two-way street. And that's what I was telling him. If it's a one-way street, if it's a one-way relationship, it's never going to work. It's just going to build up in resentment. It's just going to build up in, how do I put this without sounding like a jerk? There's a certain time where a rotten apple is going to spoil the tree. So just remove the apple and get it away from the tree. In this sense, that's the man is the tree. But it doesn't mean you don't take care of the responsibilities. It doesn't mean you don't try to grow other trees or other branches. It just means sometimes you have to cut your losses. And life's too short. Our world gets turned upside down all the time. It really does. And there's a certain time where we're told on the internet, on videos, just keep quiet. No contact with these people. Don't talk to them. Don't tell them how you feel. Don't tell emotion. Don't put all your cards on the table. A real man puts his cards on the table. And the reason why is because the minute you put your cards on the table, you remove your mask. And the minute you remove your mask, you just have to realize that you're going to get hurt a lot. Because when you remove that mask and you put all your cards on the table, every card you have, you put them on the table. There are people that are going to try to take advantage of you. There's going to be people that will act or say that they are on board with you, that they love you, that they like you, that they're your friend, that they're your girlfriend, your boyfriend, etc. You have to pay attention to their actions. Pay attention to what they're really doing, not what they're saying. And real men know once they've put their cards on the table, if everything is not reciprocal, if everything's not a two-way street, then it's time to walk away.